A Russian Su-30 strike fighter disappears during a mission over the Black Sea, and Ukrainian naval special warfare operators conduct raids against Russian-occupied oil platforms. What do these events have in common? Well, I'm former SEAL Team 6 Squadron Leader Chuck Pfarrer, and this is the Kyiv Post's Point of Impact. In the early hours of 11 September, a Russian Su-30 strike fighter of the 43rd Separate Naval Aviation Regiment sortied from the Saki airfield in occupied Crimea. Its mission was to conduct a suppression of enemy air defense strike against Ukrainian SAM batteries defending Odessa. Heading west in the pre-dawn darkness, the Su-30 flew low over the Black Sea to avoid Ukrainian radars. Approaching the coast, the Su-30 popped up and fired 4 Kh-31P anti-radiation missiles toward the Ukrainian mainland. Moments later, the multi-million-dollar aircraft disappeared from Russian radar. Russian air controllers tried to contact the plane. They could not. They would eventually launch a wide-ranging search and rescue operation from the Kacha Air Base in occupied Crimea. An AH-26 aircraft, Mi-8 search and rescue, and Ka-27 attack helicopters eventually located a mile-wide fuel slick and fragments of the missing fighter's wings. But what happened? It turns out that the Su-30 had blundered into a totally unexpected threat: Ukrainian frogmen. Video from Ukrainian sources reveal that the Su-30 had blundered over formation of small raiding craft manned by Ukrainian naval special warfare operators. Approximately 3 platoons of Ukrainian SEALs were conducting a raid against Russian-occupied offshore platforms in the area. Unknown to the crew of the Su-30, one of the assault craft contained an anti-aircraft element equipped with man-pads, man-portable air defense systems. As the Su-30 circled the formation, a heat-seeking missile, likely a U.S.-made Stinger, was fired from one of the boats. It hit the aircraft, sending it spinning into the sea 70 kilometers northwest of Cape Tehran. Considered to be one of Russia's most advanced aircraft, the Su-30 was designed for both air superiority and ground attack missions. A $47 million airplane was downed by a $40,000 missile. The Su-30 was in the wrong place at the wrong time. What were the Ukrainian raiding craft doing in the area? Well, shortly after the failed search and rescue operation, Russian sources reported that its forces occupying the Crimea 2 offshore platform had come under attack by a formation of 14 Willard Sea Force raiding craft. Russia claimed to have driven off the boats, but video shows waves of assault crafts converging on the platform and taking it under concentrated fire. Fires and secondary explosions seen in this video show that the platform was damaged. Russian casualties are unknown, but fires were reported burning hours after the strike. This direct action mission was clearly a Ukrainian victory and occurred almost a year after one of Ukraine's most spectacular military successes: the simultaneous seizure of 2 Russian-occupied offshore platforms, Rig B-312, known as Petrogodovnetsk, and Rig B-319, known as Boyko Towers. In late summer of 2023, a shadow war began in the waters of the western Black Sea. British Defense Intelligence was the first to report ongoing battles between Ukrainian and Russian naval and air forces for the strategically vital gas and oil platforms situated between Crimea and Odessa. Last year, Ukrainian naval special warfare operators staged a complex and daring mission to seize platforms B-312 and B-319. Unlawfully confiscated by Russia in 2014, Russian troops militarized the platforms, equipping them with weapons, electronic warfare, and reconnaissance equipment, including the Neva radar, hydroacoustic systems, and a potent electronic warfare complex. This equipment enabled the Russian military to monitor the surface, air, and underwater space in the northwestern part of the sea between Crimea and Odessa. On 22 August 2023, mounting a complex and daring operation, Ukrainian naval commandos boarded and seized both towers, neutralizing Russian occupiers and capturing half a dozen Russian electronic warfare complexes. The radar in question, Neva B, had extended air and surface radar coverage in the vital waters between Ukraine and Crimea. The operation, which simultaneously attacked and seized two platforms in a single operation, put Ukrainian Navy SEALs at the top tier of naval commandos worldwide. This raid and the electronic warfare treasures seized by Ukraine were an important step towards Ukrainian domination of the Black Sea. Russian situational awareness was diminished by the destruction of the Neva radar, and more importantly, the capture of Russian electronic warfare complexes helped Ukraine design and deploy electronic countermeasures that opened the Black Sea for the operation of Ukrainian unmanned naval strike drones. The downing of the Su-30 and last week's attack on the Crimea 2 platform remind Russia that the Western Black Sea is no longer a permissive environment. The combination of cruise missile and drone attacks on Russian naval and air bases, and the constant threat of Ukrainian unmanned surface vessels, including the world-famous Sea Baby, have forced Russia to withdraw the majority of its forces from Sevastopol and relocate them to the extreme eastern portions of the Black Sea at Novorossiysk. Since imperial times, Moscow has dominated the Black Sea, treating it as a Soviet and later a Russian lake. Using unconventional means and new military technology, Ukraine, a nation without a conventional naval force, has brought about the functional defeat of the Russian Navy in the Black Sea. The twin raids in September prove that Ukraine's rapidly developing technology and tactics make it a formidable adversary on land, sea, and air. And for the Kyiv Post, I'm Navy SEAL Chuck Pfarrer, and I'll see you again at the point of impact.